Tomorrow afternoon at 4 Eastern, catch the East leading Atlanta Braves taking on the Chicago Cubs from historic Wrigley Field. All the Braves action on the Superstation tomorrow at 4 Eastern. Under caution for the first time in the Coca-Cola 600 because of that.
Allen right by himself off turn 4 as the back just stepped out. He was lucky nobody collected him. Back underway there. No harm, no foul. Just right on.
That would be Steve Park's car going around. Here's a look back from Robert Presley's camera as he leaves Park behind, spinning in a cloud of smoke.
That Kenza taking evasive action going through the infield in 17.
Park in 22nd position on the lead lap as the field comes off turn 4 for the restart. Jerry Nadeau's crew, fabulous job on the pit stop. He holds on to the top spot as we get back at it. Jimmy Howell waving the green flag atop the starter stand. Look at the jump that Nadeau got on Tony Stewart.
Big jump. Big jump.
You're laughing, Baker. What are you laughing about?
I'm just looking back here. You think they're not running hard? These guys that are a lap down are trying to get a lap back, and a guy like this gets such a great jump. There's no way to get a lap back because he's like a rocket ship on restart.
Second spot, Tony Stewart there, a little ways behind. There is John Andretti's car, now being driven by Tim Fedowa. Let's go back to the Petty team's pit, Mike Massaro.
And Alan, John Andretti has come out of the car and has received some treatment from team trainer Phil Horton, and now has collected his thoughts and his breath. And, well, John, I think the thing that we need to address is how disappointing is it for to have an injury sideline you for such a big event?
It's just disappointing for any event. I've never had to get out of a race car for any reason other than the fact that, you know, you got a 24-hour race, but unfortunately, the car's a race real loose, and now I think the car's a little better, but I can't turn the wheel like I need to turn it and wrestle the car like I need to wrestle it to give these guys everything they deserve. So it makes more sense for somebody in there that's healthy and try to get ready for it over.
Well, guys, the SDP car had to come in a second time because the first time they weren't able to change tires.
And that car back in 37th position, one lap down to the race leaders. Jeremy Mayfield around Tony Stewart for second. This is a little farther back in traffic. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's running in 6th spot. He's just taken that position away from Bill Elliott, who follows him around the outside of Terry Labonte.
Father and son going down the back straightaway. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the inside, and Bill Elliott putting a lot of pressure on the outside, and that is not. I'm sorry I called the wrong car there because the paint job's got me all fooled today.
That's Terry Labonte's car, and Texas Terry not having a good day. 29th position, a lap down. Here comes Dale Jarrett up through the field. Jarrett's finding himself moving forward under this run. After that pit stop, he's up to 8th spot, trying to take 7th away from Bill Elliott. Now that's Earnhardt Sr. moving into the picture now.
Yes, it is.
There's Dale Jr. up ahead to the outside of Bobby Labonte. That'll be for 5th spot.
Got a glimpse of Mark Martin here as well. Martin currently running in 10th spot. Number 6 car. 7 top 5s in a row here at Lowe's Motor Speedway for Mark Martin.
Dale Jr. around Bobby Labonte for 5th. Moving up and moving back. Some drivers having good runs in the early going. Mark Martin gaining 6 spots. Kenny Irwin has gained some ground. Here are some drivers who've had some problems. Steve Park with the spin a little while ago, losing 7 positions. And Kenny Wallace has fallen back to 25th.
I'm watching Dale Jarrett there in the 88 car. He's moving backwards also. He's not able to keep the car down where he wants to have it, and he's losing position after position, not able to stay on the bottom of the racetrack.
10th spot he just lost to Kevin LePage. He may lose 11th to Rusty Wallace.
Rusty fighting back after that penalty on pit road. His team has been as happy with that car as any race car they've had all year long. Both Rusty and crew chief Robin Pemberton have been simply delighted with the performance of the car. We haven't seen the kind of performance tonight that we had seen earlier in the practice sessions.
Looking up ahead at Rusty Wallace and Dale Jarrett from Elliott Sadler. Sadler's machine running in 29th position, a lap down. Talk about Jeff Gordon for a minute. Got up and led a lap on an exchange of pit stops, but right now he's mired back in 16th position. So on the lead lap, let's get an update on Jeff Gordon's machine from pit road.
Well, Jeff Gordon is running 16th at the moment, and he's a little frustrated. Says the car is really very loose. His crew, headed up by Robbie Loomis, keeps telling him, be patient. This track is going to come to us. The car is going to come in later on. They keep reminding him it is one long race. But if you're a racer like Jeff Gordon, you want to be able to take it to the front at any time. He's just not able to do it right now.
Those track conditions are something that we need to address a little bit here. You could see from that shot from Jeff Gordon's car as Dale Earnhardt makes a move underneath Bobby Labonte to try and get a position away. That 6th spot, you can see the clouds have kind of eased up a little bit. The rain has moved away from us, and the sun's back out on parts of the speedway.
You can see the cars go from the shaded part of the racetrack onto the bright sunshine down the back straightaway there. And that's very, very difficult to have a great car when you don't have a consistent racetrack.
The cars are that sensitive to the temperature difference on this pavement. There they are back in the dark in the shadow behind the main grandstand of the luxury suites. And when they head off into turn number 2, they'll pop back out into the daylight. That difficult on your eyes, buddy, from inside the race car?
You know it is, and that's always been a problem in Atlanta. When you go into turn 3, you go into almost a dark shade, and it takes a second or two for your eyes to really adjust. So when you take off down in the corner, if somebody slows up in front of you, you'll knock them.
And as sensitive as the cars are here to the temperature on the pavement, that can mean your car can be great on the backstretch and lousy on the front because it's sunny back there and dark over here. Jerry Nadeau is the race leader, 95 laps into the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. Coming right back in a minute. Oh, Elliott, hang on. Hang on.
Oh, great race there. That's been going on for a while, too.
Yep.
Jarrett just
For
can't hold his car
7th.
anywhere.
Martin to 7th.
Moving forward.
Yep. Little bits at a time.
Jarrett's up to 12th already.
No, I'm okay. Thanks. Thanks.
No, I'm fine. No, sorry. Elliott continues to run high.
His
Yeah.
car is not sticking.
No, it's not.
Have we had an update out of his pit yet? I don't think we have we? Yeah. Okay. How about an update out of Elliott's pit at some point near?
Alan, I just talked to the people in Elliott's pit. He said he's not saying anything at all. The car's a little bit free in the corners, but he's really pretty quiet and they're waiting for the
That's
car
why
to
he's
come
running
to him.
high then.
Okay. Well, that's fine to hear too.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to go.
And then Buddy's response to it.
Yep. There's the cat in the hat. Hat Jack.
Checking on his cars.
Yep.
One pit to the next. Yep. Okay. And any of that good racing is fine. Nadeau's just got a huge lead.
Jeremy Mayfield is really hanging in there. He's not as fast as, of course, Nadeau is. But,
Looking down on Lowe's Motor Speedway in twilight of Memorial Weekend Sunday night from the Circuit City aerial platform. Before long, you'll be able to see that 3 million watt lighting system. Bright as day over this racetrack, and it really is a spectacular sight here at night in person if you've never been here. The 175,000 looking on to the 41st Coca-Cola 600 are watching Jerry Nadeau lead. He's out in front of Jeremy Mayfield by 2.7 seconds. There's Nadeau, the race leader. Tony Stewart is third, Dale Earnhardt Jr. fourth, and Mike Skinner is fifth. At this point, the rest of the top 10 are Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, Mark Martin, Kevin LePage, and Rusty Wallace. And there's the second place car, Jeremy Mayfield. Let's get an update from pit road on him and Marty Snyder.
And what a run for Jeremy Mayfield, although he is still trying to catch Jerry Nadeau. This is the same car that won California for Jeremy. and his car right now is a little bit loose, but he is like a lot of drivers. They are loose right now because they're hoping that the nighttime will come over this track and cool the track down. When the track cools down, it should tighten up the track and therefore tighten up the race car. So he's kind of set up for the nighttime runs, but Jeremy with a great run going. He turned 31 yesterday, and what a birthday present a Coca-Cola 600 win would be.
I guarantee he would enjoy that very much. We're just across the 1/4 point of the race, 102 of the 400 laps complete. Story in the first quarter of the distance. Dale Earnhardt Jr. dominated the opening laps, and then it was Jerry Nadeau who moved past him about 50 laps in, and he's been the dominator since. Now, Bill Elliott was up there, led for a couple laps earlier at lap 3 and lap 4, but since then he has fallen back into the field a little bit. Well, actually, he led at laps 8 and laps 9, but his fastest lap of the day was at lap 3. He's now fallen back to the 7th spot. Let's get an update from Mike Massaro on Bill Elliott's car.
And now he had dropped as far back to 9th before moving up to 7th where he is right now. We talked with Kevin Cram, the crew chief for Bill Elliott. He says he's really not saying too much. The car might be just a little bit free in the corners, but they're not all that concerned at this time. They're still waiting for the car to come to them.
The brain trust that heads up the Bill Elliott team. That's Kevin Cram on the right and Mike Ford on the left. They are the two of the three who make the calls on Elliott's car. Of course, with Ray Evernham's advice on the outside now.
And it's really, really worked for them. But what this guy has got going for him, Jerry Nadeau, is almost beyond imagination. His best finish this year, 13th. His career best finish in Winston Cup, 5th. A couple of years ago, hardly nobody even knew who this guy was. Then a fellow named Tom Cotter took a liking to Jerry Nadeau, put together a sponsorship deal for him with Michael Hulligan, got him hooked up with the Hendrick operation. And look at the results. Out front today.
Do you know that Jerry Nadeau in his Winston Cup career before today had only led a total of 14 laps? Total. He has far surpassed that here in the Coca-Cola 600. Let's get an update on Nadeau's machine down on pit road.
Well, one guy who's got a smile in Jerry Nadeau's fit is the team owner, Rick Hendrick. He's led more laps today than in his entire Winston Cup career. You've got to be one proud owner, huh?
Yeah, he's doing a heck of a job. We're just trying to get him to pace himself, and he says he's really comfortable, so he's doing a heck of a job. It's been a good 2 weeks for Jerry Nadeau.
Tony Furr, the crew chief, just told him, you're so fast coming up on these lap cars, you've got to be careful. When you lap these cars, you're so fast getting by them.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure I heard you, but, you know, he's running 2 or 3 tenths quicker than the other guys, and we just want to be there at the end of this thing. He really has adapted to Charlotte. Tony's given him a good car. And I want to tell my mom and dad hello at home. I know my dad wished he was here to see this.
And this is a great performance for the 25 team, and Papa Joe is listed as the owner of this car.
Would we consider this an update if Jerry Nadeau wins tonight? Well, maybe so, but he's doing a fabulous job so far, a quarter of the way into the 41st Coca-Cola 600. How about we go back and look at Earnhardt Sr. at some point here. He's up to 5th.
Has anybody ever told the story about him flying over to Europe and racing over there and back home? He commuted back and forth.
I can tell you about him running the London Waterford Speedway in Lebanon.
Yeah, but he used to fly over there for a weekend race and then back. So he's dedicated racing.
Yep. Pit guy's doing a great job. Nice hustle. Kenseth is moving up. He's up to 14th. How did Ward get back up to 16th?
I don't know.
Caution, turn 1. Stacy Compton.
Yep. Right behind.
Just blew. I don't know if there's a tire or a motor. What you got, bud? Don't put the caution down for debris. 10-4, you got the caution. You got a...
Well, that was a timely. That's everybody needs what they're going to get now.
I don't know if he hit the wall or not.
The right rear corner, you see the smoke?
Sit down.
Alan, keep an eye on the 14. I think Mike Dillon's going to get into 14.
All right, Mike Dillon's going to get into 14, and also there's weather really close, so this pit stop is very big.
Okay. How do we know there's weather really close? Can you see it? Because I can't.
They're all going to come in,
I'm
probably.
up here.
It looks back
I am
over
with
to the
Mayfield
left.
and Stewart.
Back at Lowe's Motor Speedway under caution for the second time in the Coca-Cola 600. Stacy Compton, the reason why, apparently cut down a right rear tire going into turn 1. Didn't hit the wall, but did drop some debris.
Absolutely.
So we see the yellow flag.
Absolutely, and the tire was real hot. They had a hard time getting it off, so Stacy lost some time, but it won't really matter because he was just lucky to have a race car after going that high up towards the wall.
Now, getting some reports that there may be some showers skirting the area of the Speedway again. So these pit stops may turn out to be really important if weather comes to shorten the event. You look at Nadeau, Mayfield, and Stewart in the triple box left of your screen. Let's watch how the crews do here going head-to-head.
Well, that's Jerry Nadeau on the top, Jeremy Mayfield, and Tony Stewart there. You see everybody taking all 4 tires. That's not an option.
16-4, nice job. Nadeau with the slowest stop in the top 3, and it's going to cost him the race lead. Here comes Mayfield. Is that Dale Earnhardt?
Yep.
Earnhardt's going to get out second.
And you could hear the crowd. We have a virtually soundproof booth here, but we could hear the crowd when Earnhardt came out in second spot.
Mayfield, Earnhardt, and Nadeau. Those will be the first 3. Then it's going to be Tony Stewart. Mark Martin's going to come out 5th. So great job there by the Mayfield team to get him out ahead. And a great job by Earnhardt's crew. He was, what, 5th or 6th going down pit road for that stop. Let's take a break while we're under the caution flag and come back for the restart of the Coca-Cola 600. Yep. 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 Yeah, I got that on Rusty. I got it. Yep.
Stop and go, Rusty.
Yeah. He didn't have to come in for a stop and go. He just had to drop to the end of the line. That was a mistake if that's what he came in for.
What he just did.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
All he had to do was go to the tail end of the line.
Let's go.
No, not really. He hasn't. No, not important. Did we have the driver change? Ben, did we have the driver change in the 14? Can you find out from our pit guys?
Find out. I'll just do my pit report.
The 14, did they make the driver change?
I'm going to go find out, Alan. I
All right.
doubt I have it for my pit whip, but I'll let Ben know.
Just fire it up to us afterwards.
I will.
Thanks. 1 to go.
Ben Harvey, Mike Hogwood here. I've been trying to get some information on this stop. And who am I to throw it to after during the whip?
The Coca-Cola 600, its 41st running. Live from Charlotte on Superstation TBS. Glad that you've joined us. We're getting ready for the restart, about another lap away. Let's get some recaps on those pit stops we saw a moment ago. Here's Mike Hogwood.
Well, Jerry Nadeau stopped. There was a bit of a glitch changing the left rear tire. They were down and away, and then the concern was, did they get all the lug nuts on? Well, they have watched it closely here under the caution laps, and a huge sigh of relief in these pits. All the lug nuts are there. Jerry Nadeau is okay and in third position. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Jeremy Mayfield came in second and out first. They were a little loose. They put a half a round into the left side. That should tighten him up from the middle of the corner off, make the car drive a little better. And as he was screaming down pit road, he knew he had a great stop. He said, "You guys are unbelievable" on the radio. Tony Stewart came in third, out fourth. It took a little time. He was also loose. They added a pound of air pressure to the left rear tire and also half a round into the left side. That should also tighten him up. Let's go to Mike Massaro.
Well, high fives all the way around down here in the 3 pit stop. After Dale Earnhardt came in, just took on 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments. The team was extremely happy. They came in 5th, came out 2nd. Alan?
Well, Dale Earnhardt's got a sniff of the lead here. He's going to restart in second spot. Now, Rusty Wallace and Bobby Hamilton have dropped to the tail end of the line for this restart. Rusty Wallace was too fast speeding leaving pit road. Now, he came down pit road here. He didn't really have to. All he had to do was go to the back of the line for the restart, but he made the trip down pit road anyway, and he is at the tail of this group in 25th position. All right, let's keep our eye on Earnhardt, see if he goes after Mayfield pretty fast. They dispense with the lap traffic of Sterling Marlin into the corner. And now the top 2 are clear and up to speed on the back straightaway.
Jerry Nadeau hung up in traffic there, but he pulls to the inside down the back straightaway, down into turn 3. Back into the car, wiggles just a little bit on Nadeau. Look at Earnhardt.
If you close your eyes and just listen for the crowd, you'll know if he finishes the pass.
Here he comes. They love Dale Earnhardt here in Charlotte. Hometown boy, drives the way they like to see a fella drive. Look at him. That entire audience is applauding Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt the elder.
He's going to get you for that.
Yeah, he is.
7th leader of the night. Here's Dale Earnhardt. Now Nadeau pressing Mayfield for second.
Mayfield has a very fast car down the straightaway. You can see he's a little bit quicker than Earnhardt on the straight.
4th place, Tony Stewart, trapped behind a couple of lap cars. Oh, Mayfield loosening Earnhardt up in 2.
The intimidator got intimidated.
Well, somebody's going to have to give.
Sparks showering from the cars.
Well, it's not going to be Nadeau. What a drive. Right out on the inside there to take over the lead.
Biggest night of his entire racing career. Jerry Nadeau back in the lead.
Mayfield for second. The 3 cars behind those 2 are all the lap down. Then you get to Tony Stewart, the 4th place car, and Mark Martin, who's just gone by him to put Martin to 4th and Stewart back to 5th. Looking ahead from Stewart's machine and Martin, who's just overtaken him. And the lap traffic that's got them bottled up and separated from the front 3.
Now the racetrack is in total shade now, so it ought to be very consistent. We'll see who has the better car.
Just caught a glimpse of ahead of Dale Earnhardt's car when we were riding with Stewart, really wiggling on the top side of turn 4 as he tried to get off that corner. Look at it. Wow. The back end just shaking back and forth.
Yeah, he's probably talking to him right now saying this set of tires is not exactly the way I want them, so we're going to have to make some adjustments. And everybody is waiting for the racetrack. You can see the lights are starting to come up on the cars. They're beginning to glitter, so the racetrack's going to get better, and the cars that are loose will get better.
Nadeau fastest on the racetrack at the moment. There's Ricky Rudd running back in 9th position.
And Tony Kerr has just called to Nadeau and said, don't punish your tires. You just got brand new tires on. Take care of those tires. He doesn't want him to run off with this thing, even if Nadeau can.
We have a field summary running upper left of your screen to let you know where your favorite driver is. At this point, 120 laps into the 400 to make up this 600-mile event. Just about to hit the 200-mile mark and another 14 more laps.
You like a race with some underdogs up front, you got it. Here's Nadeau, never won a race in Winston Cup in his whole life, not a points race at any rate. Right behind him, Mayfield never even led a lap here at Charlotte.
Skinner and Earnhardt Jr. racing for 6th and 7th.
Earnhardt Jr. just keeps the power on there, and of course, Mike Skinner knows there's a long ways to go right now.
Jimmy Spencer Spencer right behind them. He's a lap down. As you look ahead from Junior's machine, the bright green car there is Kenny Irwin's car. And Irwin was put a lap down earlier in the event as well. He's back in 27th spot. Bill Elliott with some problems. Elliott slowing on the racetrack.
He's down in the apron.
He's down on the apron. That won't bring a caution out. I did notice the flames coming out of the exhaust pipe, so he turned the power off, and that's just unspent fuel there that you're looking at.
Was running in the 11th spot.
Well, I wonder, they had a choice of a couple different engines in that car. They went with the engine that had the lighter weight components, and I wonder.
Durability, reliability, it's a factor in a 500-mile race, let alone a 600-mile race. And Bill Elliott will be coming to the attention of his crew momentarily. Falling aside from the 11th spot here at this point in the event. Then since 1994, since Elliott's gone to victory lane. And will obviously the dry spell continue for at least one more week as we watch Jerry Nadeau, who again had led only 14 laps in his entire Winston Cup career before tonight. Get out in front for 64 circuits of this Coca-Cola 600 now. Well, the gloves are off, and he's taking it right behind the wall. Not a good sign for Bill Elliott. He obviously knows that whatever it was that happened is going to put him out of the race. You take the sorriest ride that any race driver can take.
Yeah, that red button you see there in the middle of the dash, that means the motor's off.
Jerry Nadeau leads by 1.3 seconds over Jeremy Mayfield. 125 laps into the 400 in tonight's race.
Kaboom, he hit it.
Who?
4, just bounced her off the wall.
Kaboom.
I think the 4, if he did, he just touched it.
He's in 38.
Yeah.
Earnhardt Jr. dropped way back on the pit stop, but he's coming back up again, too.
Can we see Rudd this segment, 28 car?
Skinner just went through the
He just passed Skinner for 7th.
Rudd is, yeah, he's made a heck of a run.
Yep. And I wouldn't mind seeing Park again either, since he's recovered nicely from that spin. He's back up to 12th. Park and Ward-Burton.
I'm going to give the 190. To Marty Snyder. Thank you.
Under caution for the 3rd time in the Coca-Cola 600 single car spin off turn 4, much like the Steve Park spin of a little while ago. Mike Bliss went for a lazy spin down into the tri-oval grass separating the pit lane from the front stretch, but as you see is continued on away, and all the fenders look to be in their proper place. Let's go into the garage of Marty Snyder.
Well, you see Bill Elliott is still in the car, and what they're doing, the oil belt fell off, and they're putting a new one on, and they're going to do that right now as Tony Santana-Cola, the engine builder for Bill Elliott's team, is going to go underneath the car. The oil, something came up and knocked the oil belt off, so they had a great race car. That's an odd problem to have happen, but it is something that does happen on occasion. The oil belt knocked off for Bill Elliott. They will get him back out on the racetrack.
Well, chances are he's run that car without oil pressure. The engine may well be damaged as everybody heads down pit road.
Stop's going to be at lap 131. Nadeau led last time coming down pit road, went out in third position. Let's see what happens on this exchange of stops. You look at Nadeau, Mayfield, and Dale Earnhardt in the triple box on the left of your screen. Last time Nadeau's crew had a 17-second stop.
Earnhardt's pitted way up pit road from Nadeau. We talked about a two-tire change on the 25 car. Tony First said no way.
Jeff Burton's out awful quick. Wonder if he got 4 tires or 2. Who's going to win the race off the pit lane? It looks like it's going to be Mike Skinner. I believe that's Skinner's car that was first off the pit road.
Yeah, and DJ's right behind him, Dale Jarrett.
Dale Jarrett had a great stop.
I think we might have just seen some two-tire stops. We'll go back and check with our pit reporters and recap things for you. But for Skinner to go in 6th and come out in the race lead, I'm going to wager he might have just gotten a pair of right sides only. Under caution in the Coca-Cola 600. We'll come right back. Lap of those stops.